Meeting. We have a special announcement and a presentation.
Miller, members of the board, Superintendent Johnson, colleagues, families, and members of the State College Area School District. I'm Dr. Eric Eschbach. I'm the Executive Director with the Pennsylvania Principals Association. It's truly a privilege to be with you tonight. I want to introduce my colleague, Dr. Michael Snell, our Deputy Executive Director as well. The Pennsylvania Principals Association represents more than 3,200 school leaders across our Commonwealth. Principals, assistant principals, and other educational leaders serving students in every region of Pennsylvania. It's my pleasure to announce that Danielle Ambrosia, assistant principal at the State College Area High School, has been named Pennsylvania's 2026 Assistant Principal of the Year. This prestigious statewide honor recognizes an assistant principal who exemplifies outstanding leadership, deep commitment to students, and meaningful impact on school culture. Danielle now also represents Pennsylvania as a candidate for the National Assistant Principal of the Year. There's a common misconception perpetuated by movies, television shows, books, and even by our own memories of school, that the high school assistant principal is a mean, overworked, poorly dressed curmudgeon of a man who spends all his time chasing down students who have broken the rules and handing out detention slips the way a circus clown gives out balloons. Remember Ferris Bueller? Remember that? Principal, what was his name? I forget. Well, I can tell you that Danielle Ambrosia breaks that stereotype. And thanks to the leadership of Curtis Johnson and Laura Tobias, this is not the way State High has designed the work of the assistant principal. Danielle's leadership is grounded in what matters most: student belonging, mental health, and safety. She has been instrumental in expanding positive behavioral interventions and supports and in creating the annual mental health summits, which are student-designed events that foster connection, reflection, and wellness. She's also helped lead innovative safety initiatives, including the Student Safety Ambassador Program, empowering students to partner with school safety professionals and serve their peers. As a ninth grade team leader, Danielle brings teachers, counselors, and administrators together each week to focus on the whole child: academic success, social emotional growth, and a strong transition into high school. Danielle often reminds us that leadership is not a solo endeavor. This award reflects her belief in collaboration, shared responsibility, and the power of everyday moments to make a lasting difference. It was just last year that I was here recognizing Laura Tobias as Principal of the Year, and believe me, we don't just give these awards out to State College. Believe it or not, and you should believe this, we have very many applicants for this award. It goes through a very lengthy process of interviews, of site visits, and after all that, Danielle was selected to this position. She earned a Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education, English and Communications, Master of Education in Curriculum and Instruction, and her school leadership certification from the Pennsylvania State University. I'm honored to announce that, get this, she just fulfilled her requirements to be named Doctor of Education in Educational Leadership at Drexel. She now needs to be referred to as Dr. Danielle Ambrosia. In addition to her membership in the Pennsylvania Principals Association and the National Association of Secondary School Principals, Dr. Ambrosia is a State College Area School District equity advocate and a Penn State University Professional Development School associate. She's an active member of her community, serving as a member, most importantly, of the Ferguson Township Elementary School Parent-Teacher Organization. I was an elementary principal. I love my PTO. Building anti-racist white educator facilitator, and a guest speaker on diversity, equity, and inclusion at the American Association of University Women. She's presented at the state and national levels on important topics such as developing anti-racist educators and school cultures, transforming academic support systems, reducing discipline disparities through accountability, and empowering teacher use data meaningfully. She does that all before lunch. In her free time, she enjoys spending time with family and friends. I understand why. I just got to meet them this evening, and she has a lovely family. Across our state's public middle and high schools, there are 1,654 assistant principals doing this work every day, supporting students, partnering with teachers, ensuring safety, strengthening school culture, and leading in moments both big and small. From among all those leaders, one was selected by her peers for truly exceptional service. Dr. Danielle Ambrosia, on behalf of the Pennsylvania Principals Association and the 1,654 middle and high school assistant principals you represent across Pennsylvania, thank you for your leadership, your heart, and your impact on students and staff. At this time, I'd like Dr. Ambrosia to address the board.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for being here tonight to everyone. I was told I didn't have to speak, so I don't have a ton to say, but I would like to do some thank yous because I have had the unique privilege of working in this district since my entrance into education. I was a student teacher in the Pennsylvania State University PDS under the leadership of Chris Merritt at that time as a PDA, and I've had the supreme privilege of having her mentorship throughout my career, so thank you. I worked under Curtis Johnson in the English department. He was my direct evaluator for many years and learned a lot about inclusion, curriculum, bringing kids in, creating unique experiences, but also consistent experiences. And currently, I work on the high school team. I work under, as Dr. Ekbos said, Laura Tobias, who was the high school assistant principal of the year 25-26. And I also work alongside Brett Wilson, Ryan Walsh, and Susan Hipp, who have been tremendous and incredible mentors in my career and colleagues. In addition to that, I've had the pleasure of working with Jackie Saylor, Tanya Black, and Tina Green on that team as well. And so I think this award is for all of us. This award also reflects the work of our teachers, who I get, again, the privilege to work alongside and empower, and most importantly, the students. We love kids. We love showing up for kids every day, and I'm thrilled to get this award. It would not be possible without teachers and students and staff, so I really think this award represents the work of all of us. And lastly, I would be remiss if I didn't address my family who's here tonight. None of my work's possible without my husband, Tom. Like at all, it's probably going to go on his side of the mantle. And for my own children, Thomas and Deanne are here tonight. Thank you for being here, and I love you all the most. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. All right, excellent. Well, congratulations, Danielle. Dr. Ambrosia. CNAT, are you ready? Good. All right, board members, everybody ready? Okay. In that case, I would like to call to order the January 12th, 2026 Committee of the Whole Regular Board Meeting of the State College Area School District Board of School Directors. If everyone could please rise, if they are able, for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I would like to welcome everyone joining us this evening, both in person and those joining us remotely. The board held an executive session prior to this meeting regarding personnel. Board members, with the agenda before you, do you have any additional changes? All right, seeing none, I would like to call on the board secretary to conduct a roll call of board members.
Dr. Anderson?
Here.
Dr. Bader?
Here.
Dr. Barlow?
Here.
Ms.
Here.
Ms. Damaris?
Here.
Ms. Huff?
Here.
Dr. Miller?
Here. We'll begin with communications. One from the president. The district is accepting applications from all qualified community members for one vacant position on the Board of School Directors. This selected person will be appointed to serve an unexpired term until the next municipal election, which takes place in November of 2027. Interested applicants should submit a brief resume and cover letter, including a background, qualifications, and their statement of interest, and in commitment to serving on the Board of School Directors. The screening and selection process will be conducted in public at a special board meeting here in Panorama Village at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. Materials are now being accepted from Monday, January 5th through 4 p.m. Friday, January 16th, so 4 p.m. this Friday. Please submit materials to Board Secretary Lynn Tressler in person or via email. This opening comes after the board accepted the resignation of former member Gretchen Brandt on December 15th. Ms. Brandt stepped down effective January 5th to assume a seat she won on the College Township Council in November's election. And at this time, I would now like to call on Mr. Johnson to share the superintendent update.
Thank you. Prior to tonight's meeting, we had representatives from the Pennsylvania Principals Association with us to officially recognize State High Assistant Principal Danielle Ambrosia as Pennsylvania's 2026 Assistant Principal of the Year. This is an exceptional and well-deserved honor that reflects Danielle's dedication, leadership, and unwavering commitment to our students, staff, and school community. Congratulations, Danielle. Giant Food. Once again, the Giant Company is partnering with the SCASDA Food Service Department to help support our students. From now until March 31st, everyone who shops at Giant or Martin stores will be invited to round up at the register and donate the roundup amount of their bill to support Feed in School kids. Customers can also give by converting their choice rewards points to donations in the Giant app or purchasing a reusable bag. We hope you consider participating in this program, as last year more than $17,000 was donated to SCASDA to help feed our students. So please join us with that Giant Food.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I would now like to welcome our spring semester student representatives, Lily Selensky from the high school and Tim Letwin from Delta. Tim will be sharing this evening's student update.
Thank you, Dr. Miller. The Quiz Bowl. The Park Forest Middle School Quiz Bowl team celebrated a successful fall 2025 competition season, earning multiple national and state honors in competitive academic events. In the Thinking Cap competition, the Park Forest Middle School 7th and 8th grade team delivered an exceptional performance, earning a first-place national finish in the 8th grade division. Competing in the rigorous 30-20-10 competition, the team achieved a 9th-place national ranking overall and recorded the highest score of any Pennsylvania middle school team. The Park Forest Middle School 6th grade team also posted impressive results in the elementary division of the Thinking Cap competition. The 6th grade team earned an amazing 3rd place finish, national finish. In the challenging 30-20-10 competition, the 6th grade team captured a remarkable 1st place finish, also national, which earned them top ranking among all Pennsylvania elementary teams. Congratulations to the teams and the coaches, Lori Brown and Tom Kellender. Middle school reading competition. 4 middle school teams traveled to Phillipsburg to compete in the fall 2025 CIU 10 secondary reading competition. The State College teams finished in the top 4 spots out of 12 teams. Mount Nittany Middle School team, We Shelf Fight Over Books, took home 1st place. The teams were led by SCASD librarians Summer Wilson and Candy Packer. State High seniors received full scholarships. In December, State High seniors Dahlia Eldowody and Ryan Sim received full 4-year scholarships and early acceptance to top universities through the prestigious Questbridge National College Match Program. Dahlia will attend Duke University and hopes to become a dentist. Ryan will attend Boston University and plans to study marketing and international relations. State High publications. Congratulations to State High Publications' 4 Pennsylvania School Press Association regional champions who qualified for the state competition. Yearbook copywriting, Ann Yingling. Newspaper sports story writing, Noah Radio. Public broadcast writing, Julia Noel, and also for broadcast writing, Jude Reimer. Thespians Festival. State High Thespians recently attended the Pennsylvania Chapter Festival for International Thespian Society, a conference for over 1,000 students educators, technicians, and administrators involved in theater. While there, students were involved in workshops, competitions, performances, scholarship auditions, and more. The following students were recognized: Hannah Smith, Performance Hall of Fame and Solo Musical Theater Superior Score. Luce Schaefer-Manhart, Technical Theater Hall of Fame. Ben Ricker, Award for Excellence Hall of Fame. Ben Ricker and Lily Zelensky, Improv Pairs finalists and third place winners, or third place award. Alex Ciesler, Lighting, Hang, and Focus, third place award. Iris Murray Wright, Ezra Manias, Rosa Wilf, Kelsey Smith, Alex Ciesler, and Claire Slocum, yes, and Whitney McMullen, I see, for the Tech Challenge third place team. Congratulations, thespians and troop director Lily Wasser.
Excellent. Congratulations to all the students and all the teams who were mentioned this evening. Thank you very much, Tim. Lily, we look forward to seeing that improv from you soon, right? Yes? Let's see. Jackie, do you have any legislative matters to report on?
Yeah, so I have a few things. I just wanted to mention that it is on schedule that Governor Shapiro will present his proposed state budget for 26-27 on February 3rd, which is a Tuesday, and PSBA will be hosting a webinar that Friday, February 6th, where the PSBA Government Affairs team will discuss the proposal. I'll be there. You'll hear about it whether you go or not. So if you want to go, great. If not, you will hear from me. As of right now, the House and the Senate are not back in session until January 26th, and they don't have any committee meetings scheduled at this point. So we'll just wait and see. They have to shake off the holiday, and then we'll get back to work.
Don't we all? Thank you, Jackie. For Jesse or Jennifer, do you have any updates from COG?
No updates at this time.
Okay. Very well. And that concludes our communications. We now have time for public comment. Each individual will be allotted up to 3 minutes for items related to board business that are not on a consent or action item this evening. For those items, public comment will be held just prior to voting on that item. When you come to the podium, please state your name and where you reside in the district. Is there anyone who is registered ahead of time to make a public comment this evening? No. Okay. Is there anyone online who would like to make a public comment? No. All right. Would anybody present this evening in the audience like to make a public comment? All right. Seeing none, then we will move on to the committee of the whole portion of our agenda. Our first order of business for 2026 is the appointment of committee chairs. As you can see from the list on the agenda, board members have stepped forward to serve in this capacity, and thank you to all the board members willing to serve in this role. I will read these aloud for you now. Finance and Audit Committee will be chaired by Dr. Deborah Anderson. Culture, Climate, and Learning Committee by Ms. Jennifer Black. Facilities and Grounds Committee by Dr. Amy Bader. Policy Development Committee by Dr. Ann Demo. Do I have a motion to approve these committee chairs?
So moved.
Second, Anderson.
All right. I have a motion and a second. Are there any questions or discussion? All right. Is there any public comment about these committee chairs? All right. Seeing none, board members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that motion carries. We will move on to the Facilities Committee. Moving on to information reports, Mr. Fisher is with us to provide updates on both the playgrounds and the Mountain Indy Elementary expansion project. Welcome, Mr. Fisher.
Good evening. So first, we'll provide kind of an update on our playground initiative, kind of moving forward here. So Just a little background, what we're looking at doing is kind of putting together a holistic plan moving forward with playgrounds across the district that provides kind of equity, kind of across the board. So that, what we're looking to try to do is maintain some common themes, throughout the district with some customization and individualization, between elementary schools. So, so coming up with these themes, what we're going to present tonight, is that as part of the facilities master plan, we took a look at playgrounds, and as part of that, we sent questionnaires out to all principals. They've talked with some of their staff. So we got that feedback. We had some Q&A here with our board of directors, and then also dug around and found the feedback that was from our 2019 master plan. So kind of took all of that community input as well, and kind of put, okay, let's get a starting point, right, moving forward. So as in 2019, our 3 new elementaries, 3 new playgrounds. We had some lessons learned, 4 or 5 years in now. So, we've had some physical hazards with those. We've had some challenges with animals and insects. Life cycle of the equipment was really not where I'd like it to be. And then some of the challenges just with kind of the natural elements, decay, splinters over time, right? So we're kind of taking that into consideration as well. And our principals at those schools, have been, vocal about the challenges as well. So we're taking that into consideration. So really kind of, I should note, last Tuesday we had a community forum, which we had some good feedback, and I'll kind of go through that. But previous to that, really this is where we stood as far as kind of our common themes, kind of those, we want to still kind of try to incorporate some of that nature play concept, adaptive equipment, so really focusing on adaptive equipment, throughout the district at every playground that's integrated with the rest of the equipment. We'd like to, go more towards a poured-in-place surface for fall protection versus the kind of the natural wood chips. We feel as though, number one, maintenance costs will be less, as well as we feel as though kids will be able to get onto the surfaces for more time throughout the year, right? Because we can actually brush this surface off. The kids can get on it. Kind of more just open area, let kids run, some bright colors, climbing equipment, integrated basketball hoops is something that I keep hearing about. Sight lines for supervision. So some of the concerns that was brought up with some of our principals was that if the equipment were oriented just 90 degrees, it would make sight lines a lot easier for parents to keep an eye on kids, and then shade as well. So kind of previous to our public forum on last Tuesday, these are Tuesday. These are kind of our themes, right? Now after that, like I said, I'll go over some of the notes we have from that forum, and we'll incorporate some of that as well. Preliminary schedule, again, kind of first pass, right, based on kind of what we see and our grounds team sees and talking with our principals. We're kind of looking at, 1 a year as we move forward, with the first being Ferguson Township. And Ferguson Township really is driven by the fact that there are stormwater challenges at that site that need addressed that are right under the playground. So we have to remove it anyways. So I figured this was a good starting point. And then, Easterly, Grayswood, some of our older schools, PFE, and then getting kind of cycling through some of the newer ones, and then Mountain Eddy Elementary. We are looking at a small project this summer for Mountain Eddy Elementary to add some more adaptive play equipment at that site with the expansion. So not a complete, holistic remodel, just kind of an addition. And again, this schedule is fluid. So, I mean, if challenges arise, we can adjust. So what we asked the team to do with, our Ferguson Township community, as well as our civil engineering team and some consultants for playground equipment, I said, okay, let's get a starting point out there, right, for feedback. So what you're seeing here is, we have some trees going in for shade. We've got in the top of the playground there, the brown and the green is really the poured-in-place surfacing. And then, kind of below that is asphalt with kind of a track integrated as well, so kids can, run. And then the entire thing is, we plan on kind of re-sloping some of the sidewalks so everything is ADA compatible, from the school. So moving forward, this is just kind of a bird's eye view of that kind of just that poured-in-place system. And then, again, this is the one poured in place. This is a large piece of equipment. This is not in stone by any stretch. It's more of a starting point, kind of what we're hearing, kind of that kind of nature theme, color theme, as well as, more climbing equipment. So that's kind of one piece of the puzzle here. And then, another poured in place, section, we have some swings, some roundabouts, some other stuff. And again, the equipment itself is up for discussion. But really, like kind of our themes here are kind of our color themes, right? A lot of open area, good climbing equipment, shade, as I spoke of, before. But what we anticipate is, through every school, as we go through this process for every school, the equipment is going to change based on the needs of the school and the wants of the school. So kind of next step, again, we had some good feedback last Tuesday. After this, we'll really dive in with the building itself. So teachers, paras, PTO, parents, students themselves, right? To get their feedback on their wants. We'll make some tweaks to the design and then come back, present again to the board, and then ask for permission to bid to move forward. Some of the things that the reoccurring themes, I think, from the community forum was Gaga pits. So the room really lit up when somebody mentioned a Gaga pit. And then another common theme I think we're hearing over and over again is a consideration for multiple age levels. So equipment's kind of geared towards maybe that K through 2, and that equipment geared towards, 3rd through 5, for example. So some other things that came up, imaginative play structures, right? More swings, music-making areas, more blacktop, and adaptive equipment, which I think we've already captured, and some of the themes we're looking at. So we're going to take this feedback, we're going to document that, and then at this point, we're going to kind of dive deeper with the school itself, and kind of get feedback from all stakeholders, and put a plan forward. So. And then I just want to mention, like, we envision this process is repeatable, right? So as we go forward to the next playground, we kind of want to repeat this same kind of process where we do a community forum, we put an idea out there, get feedback, and then dive deeper with the school itself.
Okay. All right, thanks, Mike. Any questions from this side of the table? Yep. Well, yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Why is it one school per year? What made you all decide to do one school per year instead of like 2 schools per year?
So again, that's fluid. It depends on budget. So as we're building, I'll be presenting a new 10-year capital plan pretty soon. There's a lot of expenditures aside from playgrounds. They're going to come out of our facilities master plan. So we felt as though it was kind of just logistically made sense. But if there's a need and the funding is there, then there's no reason we couldn't do more than one.
Awesome, thanks. And thanks for the presentation last week and taking all the questions that you were getting from everyone.
No problem.
Very helpful. Deb?
This isn't maybe specifically about Ferguson, but just in general. You did list as part of the process removal of the current playground equipment. I haven't been to all the playgrounds recently. Like, if we have any equipment that's still in pretty good shape, are they going to be reused, or are we just starting from scratch at all the schools no matter what?
That's going to be case by case.
Okay.
Yeah,
And do we think there's anything to be reused at Ferguson? I really haven't been there
there's
recently.
not.
Okay.
There's not. But there might be at certain schools, and then a lot of times they're concreted in.
Right.
So removal becomes,
Difficult,
yeah.
for sure. Okay, thanks.
Jen or Jesse? Nope, good, okay. Jackie and Amy, all right? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Down the row. Just remembering from the last big push at playground projects, we did struggle. Even some of the playgrounds that we anticipated had pretty young equipment. Either it was difficult to get repair parts, or anyway, it was really challenging to salvage equipment, but certainly it's always attempted when possible. The only thing I wanted to add, I know, having been here for the nature playground push and those things, I know there's a lot of tension, push-pull about the pros and cons of it. I guess the one thing I would ask that we try to spirit of maintain and carry through is that part of that concept and idea was really also about understanding that while largely there are a ton of, and I had pretty hyperactive kids that needed to get out and move fast and all those things, there are also a significant number of students that need a quiet respite at recess. And so part of that nature-based approach and that nature-based vibe, for lack of a better word, was partly about meeting that need as well. And certainly as we discussed further and further our growing autistic population and our growing special education needs and a variety of those other things, I know while it competes with the whole sightline and supervision issue, which is incredibly important, having some quiet nooks and places or places where kids can go. I love visiting our schools, but I admit going to elementary schools is kind of highly stimulating. And for some kids in that environment all day long, that 20 minutes or half an hour is a really precious period of time where they might need someplace just a little bit different. So if we can just keep in mind that there's not there's a significant number of kids that need that too. Thanks.
Okay. Other comments for student reps? You're free to talk if you'd like.
It's been too long since you've been on a playground.
I know, right? Yeah. Go right ahead.
I did see that you mentioned that you were making sure that there would be parts of the playground that were more accessible for students with that followed under ADA, mobility-wise. But is there any specific equipment that would accommodate their needs more specifically?
Yes. So that's,
Okay.
that's part of our plan is to incorporate some of that equipment as well.
Could you list some examples? Sorry, I don't mean to.
Oh, that's no problem.
Oh, okay, I see that now. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yep. And the sign that we're still not sure what it is.
Sign.
Yeah, it's a sign. Okay. It's a good sign. Okay, we're going with sign. All right.
I thought it was like a disc golf thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going with the sign.
All right.
Okay. It's a sign. All right. No other questions or comments about playgrounds? All right, very well. Then we will move on to the Mountain Inn Elementary expansion project update, also from Mike.
A couple of pictures so you can see the bricks going up. So that's all good news. And then here's some inside. Some steps are going in, and so it's really starting to look. The inside's kind of coming together. So progress, really, I think the last meeting we brought to looking at tenting some of the spaces to keep warm, to get the brick up. Last week or two, it's been a little warmer, so they haven't had to do that. So that saved us some energy. Roof's almost completely done, and the windows are mostly installed. So. Next steps is really electrical contractors. They're getting the main gear set in the current building in the basement. A lot of the spiral duct that's incorporated in the design inside. And then as part of the project, we're actually doing a complete mapping of all underground utilities so that we have that for future reference. I don't know if you remember, we ran into a change order at one point here because the drawings showed some of the geothermal piping about 30 feet away from where it was. So that was a problem that we're not going to have in the future. So I do want to mention as far as schedule, we've talked about schedule a little bit. We're still running a couple weeks behind. However, right now we are on track to finish the new edition middle of May. So May 15th is our goal to finish the new edition. where then they would come into once school was out. If you remember, the current kitchen is getting remodeled into, I think, a staff break room. So once school was out, they would move in to do that work, and anticipation to be done by 7/17. So right now, that is our current substantial completion date.
Excellent.
So it gives us time to clean, get furniture in, people get acclimated. So we're feeling good about the schedule at this point.
All right. Question, let's start with Jackie and Amy this time. You guys? Okay. We'll turn over here. Anybody questions, comments? All right. Thank you for the presentation, Mike. And I look forward to seeing it soon. All right. So let's see, moving on from that facility, I'm sorry, thank you, Mike. Dr. Brooker, Ms. Yoder, and Mr. Crispel are going to join us to provide an update on the Future Ready Comprehensive Goal 3, which I believe focuses on extracurricular participation. So welcome.
Good evening. Tonight we are here to review the last of the 6 Future Ready Comprehensive Goals for Target Year 1. So we will take a little bit, especially because we have new members on the board. We did the other ones November and December to review what we've done. And then the last slide tonight, if you reviewed it, you'll see we will give you just a final outlook of all 6 goals and where we stood at the end of the year for Target Year 1. So again, just the agenda tonight. Tonight we're really reviewing Goal 3. It is an engagement goal. And then we will finish with the final review of all of the goals since we've taken the last 3 months during this time to review them. You've seen this before, but I will share it one more time. So as a district, we worked in 2023-24 to develop 6 Future Ready goals that our district worked to look at the Future Ready site, follows PDE's guidance, really look at our needs, and then develop a 3-year plan to try to meet those targeted goals. Once we did that with a community stakeholder group and narrowing those down, we developed what we call a school level planning model. And it just goes over each year. Every school has one of these school level plans, and those district goals are in it. And then they take and usually work on about 3 goals with their teams, develop action steps, and focus on those goals. So the goal that we were looking at and we will review tonight came out of a lot of community conversations with regards to being involved in schools and the impact that it has on our students. So overall, we want 90% of all of our 4th through 12th grade students to be participating in at least one extracurricular, co-curricular, or civic or community activity during the school year. This was actually a goal on our prior Future Ready plan, and we had done some work on that to begin to gather the data. We thought it was important to continue with it due to the connection. So target year 1 was we wanted to increase baseline data that we got in 23-24 to at least 75% who participate in this beginning in 4th grade. And we picked 4th grade just to give you a little bit of background because that is the year that we start band, orchestra, chorus, and intramural programming in our schools. So it does give them an opportunity for involvement. This goal was not at 97% 2 years ago, and again, what you focus on, we believe grows. And even though some of our elementary buildings did not focus on this as one of their 3 goals, they all collected the data and worked with their school counselors to get that information. So we keep band, chorus, and orchestra in the school day. Just 2 years ago, we added chorus to the day. The music committee came to us and said, how can we do this? So really, any child in 4th or 5th grade does have that opportunity. We try to work with them and just make it as equitable as we can be. The other thing that we've done is worked with Mr. Criswell, who will talk a little bit tonight, and began to expand our intramural activities in elementary school. We started last year adding Girls on the Run, and this year, some of you were there, I got to see you. Every single school participated in Girls on the Run. They'll be talking about adding that in the middle school. And we also looked at not every school had a similar intramural, so we're trying to make sure that we can have coaches. And so when you see it in things like increased bowling opportunities, swimming, things like that, we have what Mr. Criswell, and I might let you talk for a minute, are called flex intramurals, and then there are some that are a little bit different by schools. But that's how we work to really try to work with all of our 4th and 5th grade students to offer an array to get them involved. You wanted to talk just a minute about what flex are.
Sure. Thank you, Mrs. Yoder, and good evening, everyone. It's good to see you. This is a fun project to work on because it represents the work of a lot of people across a lot of buildings, and most importantly, it hits our North Star, which is engagement of students. To Mrs. Yoder's point about intramurals, many of you have had children work through the intramural programs. You're familiar with it. I'm sorry if I'm belaboring it for you, but for those of you who don't, we do have consistent programs from one school to the next, a volleyball program, track and field, intramural swimming. Those are, I would venture to say, the most popular, most highly attended, high participation rates. But we do offer 12 flex sessions per school because sometimes the demand and the clientele are different from one school to the next. So while one school may want bowling intensely, another school may not. So we try to allow the schools the latitude and the flexibility to choose what their students want. And so while they may want bowling one year, they may not want it the next. Skiing numbers may go through the roof one year. They may bottom out the next year. We try to let them pick games, whether they're field games, whether they're indoor games like basketball. Sometimes they have table games. Sometimes it's flag football. Sometimes it's dodgeball. So the flex sessions, to your point, Mrs. Yoder, really are designed to allow them the latitude to meet the needs of their students and clientele from year to year.
So that is some of what we did. I definitely appreciate the foundation. We do have students that we had to work with to provide scholarships. The foundation has supported that with us. And our counselors in our elementary schools work with our 4th and 5th graders to find out, A, if they are involved, and then trying to get them involved and find out their interest to offer those participations. So they are going to continue to focus on that for years 2 and 3. But that is really what's happening in our elementary schools.
So I'm going to speak to the middle level. So once again, target 2, target 1 for this year. The middle school, their participation was 81%. So not as shining as elementary, but nice, impressive. And one of the focus there would be the 7% increase from the baseline, 7% increase. So I want to just highlight some of the things that we wanted to clarify. So we expanding those intramurals, like she mentioned about bowling, but it's also what they're doing is being creative between the 2 middle schools, Park Forest and Mount Nittany, is being able to switch things back and forth. So one year they're offering kayaking at one and kayaking at the next year to give students a little different exposure. Also scheduling clubs during activities, during area to reduce transportation barriers is one thing that we're trying to work with students on while they're with us. Also maintaining our late bus. Partnering with the music department, as always, securing various foundations supporting students getting involved in skiing club. That's also been very helpful. And just want to show some items here for Delta Middle, because we have Delta kind of lumped in here with the middle as well, although they are high school. They're also embedding clubs during the day, much like the middle school and the elementary, and scheduling school-wide community service, which is a unique thing specifically to Delta, Delta Middle and Delta High. So I want to give them a nice shout out there. As we move to the transition of the high school, I want to just point out that there was a 7% increase for the middle level. Delta as a whole, their numbers were kind of consolidated into the high school and the middle school. They had almost a 12% increase. It's not reflected in the slides here, but for what they've done for their 300 students, I wanted to make sure that was shared out. It's a nice increase.
So I will touch on, our high school numbers. And as you saw in the presentation, another healthy increase. A couple years ago, we were at approximately 70% for our baseline study. We're up to about 78% now. And as I'll go through the bullet points, I certainly won't touch on all of them, but I do want to touch on a few from each of the categories. And I think the common theme in all of these is that while the numbers are good and the numbers are healthy and strong here in year one, they are that way because of the people who are bringing them to life and bringing them to fruition. To steal a theme from Danielle Ambrosia's speech earlier tonight, we have great teachers and students in our buildings, and they are the ones who have the wonderful ideas and who help bring them to life and take advantage of it. So as I highlight a couple bullet points, I also want to mention to you some of the people who are responsible for those bullet points looking that way. I think that's important. First and foremost, we have started to build some staffing into our goals. We've added a student activities and athletic manager in Kelly Aston. Kelly's actually working our varsity basketball game right now, or else she'd be here tonight with you guys. But Kelly's done a wonderful job of tying together loose ends from one year to the next and providing some new and added structure for programs like skiing in the high school level, which is up significantly this year, over 600 between the high school and middle schools. And she's doing a wonderful job adding some programming as well for our intramurals at the high school level as well. We have added in the last couple of years intramural at soccer and intramural volleyball at the high school level. These are designed, as all intramurals are, for students who may not have made a PIAA team in that particular activity. So our IM soccer players are for students who may have busy schedules, who may not have made that team, but who still want and can take advantage of a great opportunity. And a really key individual that I should mention who have brought those programs to life is Alex Croswell. Alex has been diligent, she's been persistent, and she's done a wonderful job creating opportunities in the fall and spring for intramural soccer and volleyball. Moving on, some student and family engagement. We do host a school-wide club fair, and more recently, that club fair has been built into our back-to-school night as part of the high school activities. And I think it's been really valuable for us because it's great to advertise to students grades 9 to 12 every day. It's another thing entirely to let mom and dad and their guardians know about it as well when they come through the school, and they can then have a healthy conversation and follow up about potential activities and how students can get involved. So being part of the back to school night activities with the club fair has been instrumental for us in driving participation. Also want to mention that the out of district family and student event night, while not as highly attended, still represents a great opportunity for us to engage with families who may be coming to the district and really gain a captive audience with them about what we have to offer. So that in the last 2 to 3 years has been a wonderful opportunity for us to have personal discussions about the wants, the needs, and desires of students who are joining us in the high school and how we can meet those needs. And our assistant principals the last several years have done a wonderful job of carving out space for us during that evening to have a presence that night. We also work to actively promote and recruit in the high school. If you've been walking through our building in December or January, if you walk along the bridge on the way to the cafeteria that kind of sits next to the counseling office, you'll see it's become a wonderful promotional opportunity for our clubs and activities to decorate the windows, to promote their activities, to provide meeting dates and times and information. And it kind of brings that hallway to life for the better part of 3 months of our school year. So again, I think that's a grassroots effort, so to speak, but it's a really good way to reach students and promote clubs on a consistent basis. Again, mentioning some individuals in particular, in the next category for school-wide awareness and promotion, if you've been in our school at 840, then you see how fantastic our morning announcements are with WSCH. Ms. Sam Corza has always been open to allowing us to promote clubs, to tout their success stories, to drive engagement, to drive participation. So we work to include them on WSCH morning announcements. Also, there's a pretty consistent battle, I'll use that word, to make sure you're on the screens as you walk around the school. There's a limited number of spots on those screens, and it's in high demand. But if you can get on those screens, it's a good place to promote clubs. Students see those screens, they pay attention to those screens. It's a valuable tool to reach our students, to encourage them to participate in clubs. And last but not least, and again, Danielle touched on this earlier today, the Mental Health Summit is a wonderful opportunity for students not only to continue to learn about clubs, but for active clubs to go out and be in front of their peers, in front of their students, and to engage in a variety of different ways. So again, these numbers are healthy, they're growing, they're going in the direction we want them to go in. And I think the number one reason for that is because we have active, invested, wonderful leaders bringing them to life.
Thank you, Lauren. Moving on to the next area, just to sum it up, as far as the 3 levels, elementary, middle, and high, we just averaged the goals attainment of that benchmark to the current number in year 1. Our target was 75%. we reached that at 85%. So you see in the graphic there, we are at a standing point where we want to climb the mountain, actually go higher. So this is one marker in the years to come as we continue to push forward. So I think that's some great work there that's being done, especially with the percent of growth, but we have more work to do. Just to sum up what we presented so far from the various cabinet members that have presented throughout the last 3 months, goals 1 through 6, we are happy to report 1 through 6 we've attained. There's a chart there referencing the goals from school culture, climate, academic performance in math, ELA, as well as English language growth and attainment and engagement that we just reported on. So we're happy to report that we've met those target 1 year, those goals throughout. Thank you, Jackie. A celebration there. Appreciate that. Any questions from the board?
Jen, go ahead.
Thank you so much for everything. It's coming from an extremely small high school and seeing all of the opportunities that are here at State High. It's mind-blowing. I think it's great when I saw that there were more intramural programs being added at the high school level, because I know I've seen and heard from some students who are all in elementary and in middle school, and then when they get to high school, they try out for a team and get cut, and there hasn't been an intramural team, or there hasn't, and that's life sometimes, sometimes that happens. But I think it's really great that we're adding some of those opportunities in, too, for just some of those people who want to have that opportunity but don't want that kind of major commitment of everyday after school practice. I think, too, we need to make sure, looking at all of the activities that have historically been very inclusive of all groups, making sure that that continues and making sure that everyone is able to participate in some way, just I think is an important thing, and it's great to see you guys continuing that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Other comments from this side? Questions? Yeah, Jackie, go ahead.
Hi, thanks so much. I just wanted just a small question, clarification. So, this also captures students who perhaps are maybe not involved in an IM or school activity, but also do something outside of the school. I just wanted to make sure that was
Great clarification. So when we did the baseline survey, we did ask generically civic activities, whatever that may be in the community. So that's part of our baseline. We can't control that, but we can encourage that and encourage what we're doing within our buildings.
Right. So that student who's not really interested in bowling or skiing, but plays soccer after school with a rec league is still getting counted as being participating.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't recall the exact questions in the survey, but it was to that effect. If it was Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, etc., something semi-organized.
Awesome. Thank you. I know I can only imagine logistically what it takes to pull off the IM program. And also, as someone who sent a 4th grader to skiing this year, I can't even imagine what the chaperones go through. So thank you. Huge thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. I did just have a question because Dr. Booker, you mentioned the idea that there's obviously there's more room for, the numbers here are great. There's always more room for things to do. I'm just curious if any of the three of you have kind of thought about what other opportunities exist out there. What could we add to even get this number higher?
So we're always thinking, right, Lauren, and begging for money and working with Randy Brown, who is not here tonight, but he has been great. We recognize in elementary school that not everybody, so intramurals a lot of times recognizes as a sport. And we have students that may not want to be in sports, and that's okay. We're actually adding reading club at all 8 schools this year. So to give an opportunity, we had hoped to get chess club too, but the reading club, because it is anybody that wants to participate is going to be able to be, but it's also tied with the IU's elementary reading competition that we are going to promote and have all 8 schools be able to attend. But it was a little bit bigger of an undertaking than I think we recognized. So we really are trying to look at the interests of the children. And we have a board work session February 23rd, I believe is the date. What the teams are going to take you through is we'll have reps from our elementary schools that night that show you how they take this goal and then how they work with the kids to find out what they want. We take that back to Lauren and then also go out and say, well, if this child's not involved in this, are they interested in, or are they involved in scouts, soccer in the community? And that's how those schools. So you'll get a little bit more in depth from our actual principal teams at that work session.
Thank you.
Yeah, my comment would be, the one-offs, the one individual kids. How can we get the kids that maybe not engaged? How can we find something to connect them to? What do we have available, and what can we add down the road that would meet those students' interests?
I think you mentioned the idea of bringing Girls on the Run to the middle level.
It's here.
Oh, is it?
I
Okay.
did not know that till I showed up. But yeah.
It's under a different name. Heart
Yes.
and Soul.
So at the middle school level, it's called Heart and Soul. And I really think the Girls on the Run program in the last 2 years has probably been one of the more significant additions and one of the more positive additions. So at the elementary level, and I'm just going to read off some of the numbers here, we had over 300 participants this past fall. That, if you know about it, it culminates with an end-of-season 5K run. And we've had both tremendous community support as well as district support as well leading that. But now it's also started to move to the middle school level where it's got different programming. I wouldn't say different goals, but again, different type of participation at the middle school level. Same messaging, but it's called Heart and Soul. And again, it's been an incredibly positive program. It's statewide, it's regional, it's not just in State College, and it's taken off very quickly here. So Girls on the Run has been a wonderful addition. Many people for whom to thank for that too.
And does that Heart and Soul include parents as well as part of the 5K, or is that just the students?
I believe it does. I think it's open to parents to run with them. I believe it does. But again, it's so new, and one of the things I'm learning through the elementary reading program is a district-wide new program is a big lift. Yeah. And as I go through Girls on the Run and Heart and Soul, there's a lot that I'm learning that comes with it. So I believe parents can participate similarly to the elementary run.
Okay. Jen, go ahead.
I just wanted to add in a huge thank you, and I know there's other people probably involved, but I know Darcy Houseneck has been a huge resource for the Girls on the Run program, and it would not be possible without her hard work. And one of the things I think that is so great about the Girls on the Run program is my daughter, who doesn't like to run, and me, who doesn't like to run, can still participate. And because every week is about supporting each other and about building each other up. I mean, the goals and the things that are discussed are applicable to all aspects of life. And, even if these girls aren't ever going to be a runner, they are working to meet goals. So yeah, it is a great program.
I would also like to say that once we review and solidify a new pay structure for extracurricular activities, we can lift the moratorium on extracurricular activities because there's a lot of students that are interested in providing or doing other extracurricular activities that are not listed, which will increase the amount of students interested in our extracurricular activities. So.
Anybody else? To our student reps, do you have anything you want to add about extracurriculars? You feel like we do a pretty good job? Yeah? Yeah, go ahead.
The one thing I was going to see is that I noticed that Delta got credit for their expanding community service program, which is really great way of getting students involved in their community. And a common theme you suggested was that some of these middle school and elementary school programs you're trying to implement, you're lacking the necessary oversight or participation to help kind of function those. Is there any way that you would consider branching with, like, reaching out to high school track or cross-country teams and seeing if any of those kids would be willing to help you with running Girls on the Run or Heart and Soul, or kind of just offering those kind of more collaborative opportunities to encourage community service and outreach?
briefly similar.
Yeah.
Related.
Great point. And I will touch on elementary basketball, natural tie-in. So, Lily, I love your idea of tying in student athletes to run some of these programs. One of the challenges we do face at times is when the seasons run concurrently. And cross-country athletes spend a lot of time on their feet and a lot of miles out in the field. But that said, that's probably the best version of how to run these programs, because you're engaging student athletes at the varsity levels, and they're paving the way for those who come after them. So we are always looking for opportunities like that. And to Dr. Bucher's point, one of the things we're trying to get off the ground in the very near future, perhaps the next 5 to 10 weeks, is an elementary basketball program, different from the flex sessions. This would be run by our respective grade level programs and coaches. So, for instance, one Saturday it may be our 2 varsity programs, the boys and the girls. The following Saturday it may be the JV programs. The following Saturday perhaps the 9th grade programs, so as to not overtax any one program every Saturday morning, especially if they're coming back from Chambersburg or Carlisle the night before. But that might be a really beautiful opportunity to have our student athletes do exactly what you're suggesting with cross country, working with our 4th and 5th graders. And while it won't necessarily represent a league, I don't think it needs to represent a league, it will represent a really good opportunity for our students to lead an instruction, to talk about the fundamentals, to talk about what it means to be a great teammate, to talk about what it means to be coachable, to give effort, and to really just make sure that the kids are enjoying themselves at the 4th and 5th grade level. So I think that speaks to a little bit of what you were suggesting, and that's probably our next best opportunity to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was more just a broad any way that it could be applied. So that sounds amazing. Thank you.
Great idea, for sure. Any other questions, comments? All right, well, Ms. Yoder, Dr. Bucher, Mr. Crispell, thank you for joining us. This will conclude the committee of the whole portion of our meeting. We now have time allotted for additional public comment. Is there anyone in person who would like to make a public comment? Is there anyone online who would like to make public comment? All right. Not a surprise. We didn't have it before. Okay. Next, we'll move on to our consent agenda, which includes several items that we will address in a single motion for approval. To facilitate any questions or discussions, we'll go through each category individually. Please raise your hand, board members, if you need clarification of any of the items as I present each group. We'll begin with the approval of the minutes consent agenda. Item 10. Any questions? All right. Moving on to consent agenda for operations. We have some CTC grants here, some district bills, human resource, and technology and physical plan approvals. Pretty straightforward. All right. Next, we'll move on to consent agenda for instructional programs. Item 12, overnight out-of-state student travel. A lot of this. Okay. Seeing no questions, I'd like to call for a motion to approve the consent agenda, items 10 through 12 as presented.
Have so moved.
Damaris, second.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any additional questions or discussion? All right, seeing none, is there any public comment about our consent agenda this evening? All right, in that case, board members who are in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, that motion carries. We will now move on to our action items, beginning with action agenda item 13A, which is a motion a motion to approve the 2026-2027 budget development opt-out resolution. This is shown in attachment 13A. May I have a motion?
Have so moved.
All right. Motion and a second. All right. Are there any questions or discussion about this item? Mr. Maris, did you have a question? And if you just wanted to remind us, Joe, of what the budget opt-out resolution is?
Yes, the budget opt-out resolution says we will not increase taxes this year by more than the Act 1 index, which is 3.5%.
Excellent. Thank you. Seeing no questions or discussion, do we have any public comment about this action item? No. All right, seeing none. Board members who are in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, please say nay. All right, that motion carries. Moving on, agenda item 13B is a motion to approve the high school math scope and sequence. This is shown at attachment 13B. May I have a motion?
So moved.
All right.
Have second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions or discussion about this item? We brought this up at our last meeting. Yeah, Jesse, go ahead.
Oh, yes, I mean, I did go through it a little bit, and I noticed how much more of it that I saw than I was familiar with. I mean, the last one, I'm actually do have a sort of I'll call this a very friendly question. That very last course that you have, it's the advanced mathematics one, beyond calculus. How many students take that?
Do you mean the advanced topics in math?
Yeah, the advanced topics. How many people take that?
We typically have 1 or 2 sections of that a year.
Oh my gosh! So, is that the same with the AP Computer Science and Statistics? Do they get a lot of people?
Yeah, we have several sections of those as well. The advanced topics are kind of for kids who've kind of done all of our math that we have to offer. That's just like an extra course that we've created to help them explore deeper into math. So it's.
I mean, the curriculum looks like my 3rd semester of calculus, basically.
It's very high. It
Yeah.
is very,
Yeah.
very, very high.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that's.
Yep.
I mean, yes. I wish it had been around. Anyway.
Other questions or comments for Ms. Merritt? All right. And I think we're going to have the math scope and sequence for elementary and middle together. Is that all together? Okay, that'll be coming up. Great. Thank you. Is there any public comment about this agenda item? No. All right. Seeing none, board members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that motion carries. Agenda item 13C is a motion to reject the low bidder for high school south bridge repair. This is shown in attachment 13C. May I have a motion? All right.
Have second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments about this agenda item? I think it seems pretty straightforward. Okay, so we look at the bridge repair. All right, seeing none, do we have any public comment on this item? No. All right. In that case, board members who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that motion carries. That concludes the agenda for this evening. Looking ahead to future meetings, we have the January 20th, 2026, there we go, Policy Development Committee, which will take place here in the Panorama Village Boardroom. That same evening, January 20th, 2026, we will have our special board meeting to fill the board vacancy that was referenced earlier. That will take place at 6 p.m. here in the Panorama Village Boardroom. On January 26th, 2026, we will have our regular board meeting here at 7 p.m., at which point we will welcome our newest board member to be sworn in. And then on January 29th, 2026, there will be a board work session with students at 12 p.m. at the high school black box. And I would now like to adjourn the meeting of the State College Area School District Board of Directors. Oh, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Quick question, comment. I don't
sure.
know if this is out of order. I don't know. But did Joe have something to present that we missed?
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. I didn't know if it was necessary or not. Okay.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't realize we missed that. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Joe, if you want. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Now I would like to adjourn the meeting of the State College Area School District Board of School Directors to an executive session. Have a good meeting, everyone. Did I miss that?